Let's say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
As I say, my name is Charles Johnson, and I want to tell everybody to say the same thing. It is my absolute pleasure to be here. It is my pleasure to be here. I do not take that lightly. I understand that, this is my pleasure to be here. I'm not here to be tell you how great, wonderful I am, or all the great, wonderful things I know. I'm here to do something called a collective. A collective means we work together to gain understanding so that we can look at something through a lens and that we can help each other collectively be better. I am never trying to be right. Never. This is about a process, and the process has to work for everybody in your way. I'm not here to tell you anything about you. The process has to work for the process, not as an individual who's flawed. And this is not about agreement, because what we're about to do today is really going to bring in what I'm talking about, right? Because now that a lot of us has been through it, we kind of see what's happening here. Now we're going to find out what some of these challenges really were and what makes it so difficult to actually do this. So it's going to be really challenging. So it's not about being right. It is not about agreement, right? The whole time I've been writing this thing up here, same old thing every week. I've been writing this thing right here. You've been seeing this little thing on this board all the time. You've been seeing the scale here with this thing saying react and respond and feelings and beliefs and emotions and attitude, and this CC and this OC. This is critical conditional. This is operative condition. I've been going through explaining over and over. Then I started talking about these tools that develop skills to create awareness for this action and change. I've been going through what your tools are, what your skills are. What is this awareness when you're talking about going up and down this scale for feeling your best and feeling your worth? Why do we do all of these things? Why do we do all? So it took a long time, we going through this process, seemed like going through it over and over and over and over and over again. Then I introduced something brand new. It's only been a couple weeks. I tell you about what is this MRTD? It's really the mind self reset transition diagram. This is what this thing is you've been watching the whole time. It's called a mind self reset transition diagram. Now what does that mean? It means that if we cannot reset our minds, we will stay in something called a constant state of what's called indifference. Indifference means that you are satisfied with your present set of circumstances. It doesn't mean you like them. So it doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, whatever you're doing, whatever your set of circumstances are, you will not be able to use your particular talent and or knowledge to change your situation or circumstance. You will not be able to use it. That does not mean that you won't be able to be successful. That don't mean that you won't buy a nice car. That won't mean that you don't live in a nice car. A nice house. That don't mean that you didn't graduate from college. What it means is this: when you face challenges in your life, when you face a circumstance where you have to do something different, where what you know ain't good enough, you're going to have to face another circumstance. You cannot call on these, which is your tools, which is your talents and knowledge, in order for you to be able to apply it to gain answers in that situation. That's what it's about. And this level of indifference, what it does is, no matter who you are, you can become trapped in it. And it's a lot of things to face because it's really, really hard to face. So when I made this process, the process was about giving ourselves a methodology in order for us to look at it in a different way, to challenge ourselves to think differently and to use what's called critical thinking. Critical thinking is not about agreement. Critical thinking is about process, about input, about seeing what's going on, about looking at it your way. And then take another input and say, okay, this is what you think. It ain't that I'm right and what you're saying is wrong and I'm smart, you not, X, Y, Z. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Critical thinking is about, hey, this is an issue, we can all look at it together. And we're like, okay, that's about this about this, ain't nobody really right. How do we think about it and look like that? And with critical thinking, what what we learned to understand is things evolve and things change. That's why every year when you go to college, when they go to college, they got something brand new that they teaching those people. Something more they putting in, something more you putting in, because something new they learned evolved, or something happened in the world that changed, that we got to put in the formula and say, we never thought about that, so let's look at this now. We never thought about that, so let's look at this. If you cannot critically think, you can't do it, because you're becoming different. So you think what you know is the answer. It's what's right. It's what I was successful with. It's the way I did it. It's the way I do it. So it's very hard for you to look at it and see things any other way. And it doesn't matter who we are. It's difficult for any of us. Let's talk about these are the what's whys, right? So we go through this whole process, this transition process. When we're talking about this transition, right? The transition is going for a true identity. The true identity is you seeing yourself. True identity means that you can see yourself without judging yourself. And judgment for yourself means that you don't have to be good, you don't have to be bad, you don't have to be successful, you don't have to be a failure, you don't have to be anything. When you see yourself, you are good enough. You have no judgment for yourself. Zero judgment for self. So when you don't have judgment for self, you won't have judgment for others. So therefore, you can learn to have relationships. So as we build this true identity, you'll find that lead you to your purpose. Your purpose is this. This is what purpose means. Your purpose means that whatever you do, whatever it is you do, it flows through you and helping somebody else. It ain't chill. It ain't enriching you and doing that. It flows through you to helping somebody else. And that's driving you to a purpose. The purpose is you doing what you need to do, but it ain't you doing anything. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to validate anything. You're just being who you are and driving whatever your natural ability, talent, and it helps other people. It's your purpose. It's not about you. It's not about you. That's purpose. Anybody ever seen Doctor Strange? The first Doctor Strange? Anybody seen that first Doctor Strange? You saw that? Yeah. Anybody remember the scene when he's talking to the what you call that woman, the Ancient One or something like that? He's on the balcony talking to the Ancient One, and he's been going through the process. He's this great guy. He's Doctor Strange now. He's a great guy, and he's standing there because he was a surgeon. He was the best at everything, and he was saying that I was the best, and I understand with all these powers. And she told him, what you had to learn was, in this whole process, of why you're so powerful and why you're so great, because you had to learn that it was not about you. What you did had to flow through you. And that's how he became that guy who could do so many things. And he could do so much once he learned that it was not about him. But when you're so afraid for yourself and you don't know it, everything is about you. Everything is about you. So when you get to your purpose, and your purpose is driving through is helping others, this is the action of change. The action of change, that means this. You can take action and you can change. You can take action and you can change. It doesn't matter if you want to change or know how to change if you can't take action, does it? Well, it matters if you can't take action. It just means you stuck. And I know better, but I don't do better. And the people been to classes, been to rehab, been to here, been to learn everything. They know better, but they still don't what?
Do better.
They don't do no better. They don't do no better. They done been through this process and learned it 5, 6 times. You tell me they ain't never been told. They know what that change is supposed to be. But they don't do what? Take action. They can't take action because they don't understand how to get out of what's called indifference. Indifference means that you're satisfied with your present set of circumstances. And we're going to talk about why that particular thing is and why it is so challenging. Because you're going to see me, I always start with this. Write something up here that's really gonna be a problem. So we really gonna have a problem. We're really gonna talk about something here in a minute. We're really gonna talk about something here in a minute. We're really gonna talk about something here in a minute. It's gonna really be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. We're gonna have some problems. I don't want y'all moving no furniture around up in here. There's gonna be a problem up in here right now. There's gonna be a problem. A problem. This whole thing is designed to get you to be able to use critical thinking, which is the only way to use critical thinking is to use your mind. It is not about your brain. It is to use your mind, which is the self. Now, what does that mean? You can look at something without making it about you. This word right here is feelings. What I've been doing the whole time is to try to bring this word over to let you know that this word right here is just made up stuff that really don't exist. It's created for a reason. It's created so that I can operably condition you. That's why this word feelings exists. When there's no such thing as feelings, they're really your beliefs. We know that because if I told you, hey, I hate that restaurant. I love that restaurant. That's a good restaurant. That's a bad restaurant. They serve good food. They serve bad food. I really love eating there. I really hate eating there. If you told me that you like it or you disagree with me, you stupid, you don't know no better. You this and that because you hurt my what? You hurt my feelings. But if I said, I believe that's a good restaurant. I believe that's a bad restaurant. I believe they serve good food. I believe they serve bad food. I believe this. I believe that. What have I already done? I've already taken responsibility that is my what? Opinion about it. So if you say something, it is your opinion. Correct? So you can't hurt my feelings because we both understand those are two different things that we what? Those are at particular beliefs. You can believe anything you want about that restaurant, can't you? Can't you? So if you use that, there ain't no whole lot of disagreement we can have because you got a right to your beliefs like I got a right to mine. But if I say it's my feelings, that's what it is. It's a good restaurant because I say so, and you say it's a bad restaurant. What's wrong with y'all? You know a good restaurant when you sit in that. Now we got a problem. So as long as you use these words, I can condition you with reward and punishment. You right, he wrong. They good, they bad. You can be conditioned. So the goal is to make sure you go take this word, supplant it with them feelings. And that is operatively conditioned through reward and punishment. Now this is the real hard one. This one right here. I've been doing it the whole time. Talking about this word emotions. What emotions? Happy, sad, joy, excitement, right? Emotions, right? I'm telling you they don't exist, right? Angry, right? Because what makes you angry? Your brain releases cortisol to you. What makes you happy? Your brain
is releasing dopamine to you. What makes you sad or feel like you sad is because your brain is regulating your own serotonin levels in here. What makes you motivated? Your brain releases norepinephrine, epinephrine, which is called adrenaline, to you. To you. What brings you down at night? Your brain releases a chemical called histamine to you. So is there any such thing as this emotion thing? Or is your brain releasing chemicals? Which one is it? Which one is it?
Your brain.
So if your brain is releasing, why are we talking about this? Let me tell you why you're talking about this. Because as long as you use this term, I can classically condition you. And that means I can put triggers in your unconscious to make you react to situations and circumstances where your unconscious will trigger in it and your behavior will not be able to be controlled. That's Pavlov's dog. To get you to get the dog to salivate. But if you said that, wait a minute, that's my brain, and I understand that just made my attitude. My attitude is my fixed, held set of beliefs. It means I believe it so much that this is the reason they made that they have these in the society is this. This is what they control it with. Because without this, I can get you to do what I need you to do. Because right here is what it controls. This right here is to control them skills that make sure you work. Like this right here is to control the entire society, and it's done by this. Because once I got this, and you believe something so much that it becomes part of your attitude, your fixed set of beliefs, I use this word emotions, what I can manipulate, but this is the issue. What you really are fighting that got you locked in is these. Values that create indifference. That's why you can't get out. That's why you can't do that. Values that create indifference. Let me tell you what. Somebody like me, right? What are my values? Education. So I got all these degrees. All these degrees. Because I'm really trying to hide the fact that I feel like I'm stupid, because when I look in the mirror, I tell myself I'm stupid, and because I've been struggling with dyslexia. So if you tell me, oh, your handwriting bad, you misspelled something, I would turn around, who are you talking to? Blah, 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 and I would just go berserk. So I would have the authority to go off on you and hurt people, and I've lost untold amount because of that. Elon Musk, value. A whole lot of people value is what? Finance, money. So look at values as a big shield that keep you where you are, that can't nobody talk to you or tell you nothing. So the more money he get, the less you can tell him. So wherever he is, he can't learn nothing new or be new, different than what he is. So money just create a bigger shield. So now he's the first trillionaire. He got a gigantic share in front of him. So what this is designed to do is to get you to do what I need you to do. So if you're the United States military, right? What we fighting for? Freedom. Somebody violates your freedom, you kill them. You kill them. That value. That triggers the autonomic behavior to get you to react. If you were out in some environment, like street, jail, all of these kind of things, this value might be respect. If somebody crossed that line, you got the right to kill them. The right to kill them. Act and kill them. If let's say if you went to somewhere like the Middle East, or somewhere over there, where their values truly religion, you can cut your daughter's head off. Call it a mercy killing. You kill anybody because of your religious belief. Anybody. Anybody or anything. Am I correct about that? Because once I set this in front of it, you got a right to do it. So all I got to do is set this in front of it, trigger it in you, and you will automatically do these behaviors. Because you can't challenge this, because this creates indifference, which is your present set of circumstances, and make you satisfied with them. It don't mean you like them. It's saying, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I do. And you stay there. and you stay there. You stay there until you're 50, 60, 70, 80, and you go through the same process over and over and over again. But you can never take real actions to change nothing. You'll be doing the same thing. Same thing. And we've seen it all our lives. Don't matter how much money you got, your education, if you can't get out of this process, right? Because this right here is designed to take the brain and manipulate it. That means that if the brain is in charge, I can send signals to the brain, which is what? Medications, drugs, alcohol, social media, computers, situations that'll get the brain to get stimulus so that you will do behaviors outside of the self, which is you, which is supposed to be in control. Now we know there is a difference between this mind and this brain, because if you go back tens of thousands or 1,000 years, I don't care how far you go back, and you look at any book, you ever seen any book talking about the brain? Or is every single book going back in history talking about the mind? Everything's always talking about that mind. Everything's written off the mind. Ain't nobody here talking about no brain. You're talking about the mind, the power of the mind, the power of the mind, the power of the, everybody talking about the power of the brain. You're talking about the power of the mind, the self, the you. When you was talking to yourself in that mirror, since you've been talking this you was that big, you was talking to your mind? You was talking to your brain? Who you talking to? Who are you looking at that mirror? You seeing your brain? What you see in that mirror that you've been talking to your whole life? Who is that? Who is that?
Your mind.
Your mind. It's yourself. It's you, right? And we all had a conversation with ourselves in the mirror. Am I correct about that? We've been having that whole life, right? And can't nobody have it with you but you. That's why it's called the self. And can't nobody see it, and can't nobody have a conversation with it but you. But you. So in order for you to get back control of you, the mind has to take back control of the brain, the body, and the spirit. It's got to take back control. It doesn't solve all your problems, it just puts you back in charge. It's to get you to say, okay, this and this was created so I don't have to use this, and understand what my attitude is, which my fixed held set of beliefs is, which I know if I look at it and struggle, I can do a process to change it, meaning add to it. Doesn't mean I'm right, it doesn't mean I'm wrong, and we all know it's true because we went through recruit training. And recruit training, all it does is at the end of it, it changes your attitude. We know that it does that. We don't. And this is why the biggest one is this one, which is a real challenge. It's a real challenge. This is a real challenge right here. I'm telling you, ain't no such thing as this thing, love. Ain't that a terrible thing to say? Huh? That's a terrible thing to say, ain't it? Ain't no such thing as this. What that really is what? It's acceptance. When I tell you in the mirror you love yourself, that it's not true. It's whether or not you accept yourself. And when you accept yourself, all that means is you can see you and you can see yourself without judgment. That's all it means. It's acceptance. And once we understand its acceptance, we can change ourselves to build these relationships with everybody. When you see a little child, does a child really want love from you, or do they want acceptance from you? What do they want? What do they want? They want you to accept them for who they are, correct? Mm-hmm. When you get married or you got a relationship with a partner, do you want love from them, or do you want acceptance as who you are? What do you want? What do you want? You want some love, or you want to be accepted for who you are? Who you want? You really want acceptance, don't you? When somebody go to school, the little kid go to school, do you think they want to be loved by the school and the people in it, or do they want to be accepted into that? Am I correct? Am I correct? Yeah. When somebody go into an organization to be working, they want to be loved by the organization, or they want to be accepted. Accepted in that organization. Accepted by that place. That means that they will allow you to come in and be who you are without judging you. But if I condition you to judge yourself, You will never feel accepted, so you will never understand. You'll say that this word love is this, you just don't love me, and you don't want to love me, and I can't be loved, when it's really, you never felt accepted nowhere because you don't accept yourself. That's what makes this process. That's what makes this process so difficult. Because this word right here is worth trillions of dollars. Because I can market and sell it in shows and TVs and books and everything. And get you to buy it and buy it and buy it until if anybody comes to it and challenge it, you so indifferent about it, you might kill them. If you don't think so, go tell some of the women that's watching Lifetime and Hallmark and all that and tell them, oh, there ain't no love in that. And they'll say, what? What are you talking about? Because you don't know nothing about love. You don't know how to love nobody. You don't know what love is about. They will tear you to pieces. Tear you to pieces. Tear you to pieces. And if you try to tell them about anything called acceptance, because they don't know nothing about it, they'll be like, you don't know what you're talking about. You just scared of loving somebody, loving this and loving that. Because you've been so conditioned with this word that you can't change it to help yourself. You can't change it to help yourself. Because as long as you locked in that word, I can put that value in front of you, make you indifferent, and I can condition you and control you. And you will not control yourself. And to control yourself, all that means is your talent and your knowledge, which are your tools, you can use them in order for you to make a difference in the things you want to make a difference in. But when you can't access them, the only thing you can do is to take your skills and work yourself and work with somebody else and let how other people do it and manipulate and lead you. And all you're going to do is be angry, angry, angry about what somebody else is doing to you. You can't have a process of change. And the things I'm telling you, it affects every single one of us. Because if you meet anybody and they start telling you about their great and wonderful values, ask them what they are. Ask them what their values are. Because I guarantee you those values are hiding something. If you see somebody whose values is finance, I guarantee you they grew up without a lot of money. Money's important to them. You see somebody who grew up in a very controlled environment, very controlling parents, wouldn't let them out of the house, wouldn't let them do nothing. I bet you their values is freedom. Freedom. You see somebody going there where they was in a very unsafe environment, couldn't trust nobody to see, their value is probably going to be trust. You see somebody grew up and they don't think they know something else, people already telling them they're stupid, their values might be knowledge and education, trying to prove that they're smart. You see somebody been bullying their whole life, their values are probably going to be strength and power. So are any of those values true, great things and wonderful, or are they shields to protect you from what you are afraid of inside? Think about that. So when you tell somebody about their values, who got these values because they're good? Who? So until we can see these things as shields that protect indifference, it's not that you shouldn't have values, but you have to understand that the values only consist around your boundaries that we went over. Boundaries are for you, not for others. Nobody can cross your boundaries. Boundaries are for you, to protect you with your values. Values mean the things that I say I'm going to do and not do because I'm me, right? And what values mean is, I know I don't do what you do, so if I start acting like you, I need to stay in my lane and not do what you do. I need to respect you for what you know and what you do, and I need to do what I do. I need to stay in my lane. They're my boundaries. But I can't do it if I can't learn something called forgiveness, what we went over a couple weeks ago. Forgiveness means I forgive me for the things I done did years ago, or all the mistakes I done made, or the trouble, DUIs, fights, whatever you did, jail, I don't care what you did. I have to forgive me in order for me to set my boundaries around me, create my respect for me that we went over, right? And therefore, when I set these boundaries in this, I can say what's happening with you. I can let you be you because I know everything in here. I'm responsible and in control of me. So now, when I take responsibility for me, whatever you're doing, I can let you be you. And I can respect that. And you ain't got to be me. It don't matter what you. But the good thing is, I can learn something from you. I can learn something from you. I can hear you. I can listen to you. But I ain't got a big shield in front of me, worried that you're going to see through this value that I'm really stupid. I'm really stupid. I'm really stupid. Look at some of these, I'm not picking on them, like athletes, right? There's a story, and I ain't gonna mention his name, in the news right now about an athlete in court trying to reduce his child support. He almost broke and blah, 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 but he made $120 million in his life, in his career, in the NBA, and he's like, I need to get this money, and broke, I barely make any money in money. His real problem wasn't how much money he made, his real problem was what? His values. And he had a false what? Identity. Right? So now that he can't say, oh, look at me, I'm an NBA player. Look at me, my value is all this money I had, blah, 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 blah. Now you ain't got all that money. Guess what happened when his shield get penetrated? Now they're out there doing any and everything out in the street because now they don't have that big shield of, look at all my finance and money. 1929, stock market crash. Stock market crash. Anybody ever seen anything about stock market crash in 1929?
People leaping to their death.
People leaping to their death? Who was leaping to their death?
People that had value of money, I guess.
That's correct. That's correct. And rich folks leave. Won't no poor people leaping to their death? Won't no working people leaping to their death? They won't leave it to their death, were they?
No.
If the stock market crashed tomorrow, is anybody here gonna leap to their death?
No.
If you got that kind of money that you leap to your death, man, you ain't supposed to be here anyway. You get it? Because that ain't your what? And it ain't a false value for you. So when that stock market crash, you be like, well, I gotta do something different. I got to do something different. You're not going to look at it as in it is your whole identity of who you are. So now, because the stock market crashed, you got to go kill yourself. Because I ain't playing in the NBA no more, I got to go kill myself. Because I ain't playing in the NFL no more, I'm going to kill myself. Because I can't get my acting career going, I'm going to go kill myself. And when I kill myself, it don't have to be just committed suicide. Killing myself can be through what's called avoidance. Avoidance means self-harm behavior. So I start picking up behaviors that I know is going to destroy me. Really a lot of drug usage, drinking, risky behaviors, things that can put me in danger of me harming myself. That's avoidance. That's self-harm behavior. And I kind of do it over and over because the real thing is I can't face myself because I had this value which was false. And when it get exposed, I just react to it. Same thing with me. Once you pierce through this thing with this education and thing, and you try to challenge me, and I feel like you must be, and the first thing come out of my mouth, you must think I'm stupid. Who do you think you're talking to? You must think I'm stupid. You ain't ever called me stupid. That's me. That's me talking to me. Somebody who's really feeling inferior, you're gonna respect me. You're going to respect me. You're going to respect me. Can't nobody disrespect you. How about that? Can't nobody disrespect you. You respect yourself. Can't nobody disrespect you. It's impossible to disrespect me because I respect me. Now, you can be disrespectful, but that's just a disrespectful act. And if you're being disrespectful, who are you disrespecting? Yourself. You can't disrespect me because I respect me. The only one that can disrespect me is who? Me. And how do I disrespect me? Crossing my own boundaries, getting out of my own forgiveness, doing the things of avoidance to destroy myself. I disrespect me. You can't do it. You ain't got no power to disrespect me. I just blame that on you. How you gonna disrespect me? You ain't me. You look in that mirror and talk and see me? How you gonna do that? Only I could do it. But when I take responsibility for me, not only can I respect me, I can use my power to change, and I can do these things, and I can change what it is I think. And the way we can do that, the number one way to do that is through this thing here with these relationships. Relationships mean that I can connect with you and you can connect with me. And when I can see myself without judgment, I can see you without judgment. And therefore, we can learn and we can see and we can grow from one another without me saying, that fool don't know what he's talking about. He ain't about nothing. I remember when that dude did this. I remember when his company went bankrupt. I remember when he did this. This guy cheated on his wife. Instead of me sitting there looking at you through a lens of judgment, don't matter who you are, because now I can learn from anybody. We've all been in the military, right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine one of us saying, you know, the commanding officer is an idiot. I'm not going to listen to what that fool said because I heard he cheated on his wife. Will we ever say that? Will any of us ever say that? And I'm very senior in the military. You think I'm going to go to the commander? Them orders you put in is some bullshit, because I'm going to tell you something. I know you ain't no good, and I heard that you lost your house and you cheated. You going to tell that to him? Or her? You going to say that? Or when the orders come down, you're going to follow it on smart. Right? I had all these issues. Still got them. That's the good thing. I know I still got them. I was the kind of guy, if you would have looked at me twice wrong, I'd break you down so bad it would have been, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Because I'm like, what you said? You better move on smarter. You better move on quickly. And I'm going to get in real quick. And you make one mistake, and I'm going to have at you and break you down. Break you down. I don't care if your ribbon was off a little center of a millimeter, I tear you apart. You better not touch something. You better not have a mark on your shoe. I tear you to pieces. That uniform wasn't absolutely immaculate. I would rip you apart. And I don't care what your rank was or who you was. I'd rope and choke you in a second. I look at you coming in, and that's what the rope and choke means. I say, come in. I throw that damn tape measure around your neck, put that thing around your waist. You don't meet the standards of my military. I see you 5:30 in the morning. That's right. I could care less. And I didn't care a lot about people. I was only doing it for the mission. I didn't care nothing about it. I look at you right in your face. I'm here to support the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Don't play with me. Get with it. X, Y, and Z. But I could not see the person. But it was really worse than that. Because of my own insecurity and values, I couldn't learn from anybody either. There were a lot of positions that I've held, which I've held some very, very, very senior positions. I couldn't even learn from my staff. I couldn't learn from people because I was too busy trying to make sure that I felt like I had the power and control because of my own fears. How many people we know like that? Today, yesterday, we didn't work for those people. Driven. They're so successful. No, they're just trying to protect themselves and using the situation and circumstance as a power position instead of collectively working together in order to overcome the circumstance. We just seen that process go on a week ago. Anybody watch that NBA Finals with the Knicks?
Yeah.
Anybody watch that? You know, I've been playing basketball probably about a little more than 50 years. That might be one of the greatest basketball performances I've ever seen. That's a big thing for me to say. And I ain't no Knicks fan. It was the way they played like a team. They shared the ball. They rotated. They set picks. It was unbelievable to watch. And it was the exact same team they done had for like 3 years. The only thing they did from the last 3 years of this is they changed leadership this year. Am I correct about that? And everything else was the same. They changed, and what did he do? He brought in a different philosophy about, wait a minute here. We all gonna be a part of this thing. We all gonna be a part of this thing. There ain't gonna be no hero ball. We gonna do this. We gonna work together. We gonna use all our resources collectively. And guess what? They went from never being able to win to champions. And I'm talking about, I've never seen nobody roll through the NBA finals like that. They lost one game. They beat some people by 50 points. They beat some people by 30 and 40 and 50. I ain't never seen nothing like that. Never. And nobody on there would you say was a great person, first team all NBA. I don't think they got a single person, do they? First team NBA?
Right.
He not first team NBA. He ain't first team NBA. Sure ain't. He should be, but he ain't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So was it the people? Or was it the philosophy? So what it means is we all can do it. We all can do it. Brunson got ran off of the Mavericks to say he can't play. The coach been fired what? 3 times or 4 times? He been fired 3 times. He got fired. He won the championship with Cleveland, got fired. He went to the Lakers, got that job, got fired. He went to Sacramento, got that job, turned him around, got fired. Then he came to the Knicks and won the title again. Get that?
How is he getting fired?
I can't tell you what the reason. I don't know the reasoning behind it because that's usually somebody else's agenda of where you are. You understand what I'm saying? Let's say you're a change agent, and you go into a situation or circumstances where they are what? Indifferent, satisfied with their present set of circumstances, and they can't deal with anybody that's coming in with new ideas and change. So what they say is, you know what you're talking about, and they fire you, because their real goal is for you to come in and take what they got and do it the way they always did it, and it won't be about them learning what you know in order for you to bring in any change and be different. That's why you see so many of the big organizations, especially federal organizations, they're just structured and they're so resistant to change. The military, the VA, any place you go into, it'll take forever for them to change that thing. You have to dynamite that thing for it to change. Yes, sir.
So do you believe that sometimes it's scripted? I mean, you know.
Sometimes what?
It's scripted. You know,
What's scripted?
Meaning that the person who wins is, you know, it's already determined that they'll win. Like they, you know, just like, you know, like when they had New York down by like 29 points, and then the last second shot, like a person who's never a high school player could have made better choices than the Spurs made in that last second. So, you know, I'm saying, you know, with all of the knowledge that they have in basketball, you know, sometimes I believe that, you know, that it's all, you know, they
Predetermined.
Right. Yeah. Like the person who is making the money.
Whoever's going to benefit.
Right. Who, you know, whoever owns the team, and owns
collective,
the NBA,
yeah,
has said, okay, this team is gonna win, and you know, if you know, there's, you know, you cannot allow this team to win because it's not gonna benefit the numbers as far as gambling is concerned.
I cannot tell you with 100% certainty whether that is true or not. I can't. But I can tell you this. When you see something on the field, especially when it's sports, it's hard to lie in cheating sports. You could say them guys in San Antonio who made some high school bad decision, but you ain't say that when they beat the Thunder. You can call them that when they beat that Thunder.
That could have been
the same. Well, then everybody that beat everybody.
Right.
But I guarantee you, them guys out there on that field, on that thing, ain't feeling that. I guarantee you, sometimes, and I'm a ball player, been a ball player forever. Sometimes you better than me. You got a better plan than me. I can tell you this with absolute certainty, in my opinion. Everywhere good leadership has gone, that place wins. Same players with the Knicks win the title. That guy went to Seattle, brand new coach, Super Bowl. The Rams coach, one of the best ever. They every year competitive to win. The guy went to Detroit, the Detroit Pistons. Boom. The 2 years, very competitive to win. Brand new leadership. The guy went to the Lions, he went over there, boom, leadership, turn him around. You don't hire nobody for nothing. Jim Harbaugh went to San Diego State, turned him into a winner. He went down there, he went up there to Stanford and took him from nothing to a winner. He went to San Francisco, put them on the map, made him into a winner the first time around. He went to Michigan, who could not beat Ohio State. Nothing they could do. And not only did they beat Ohio State the whole time he was there, he won the national championship. So it no matter where you go, when you put real leadership in there, you get that result. When you put poor leadership in there, you get that result. You get what I'm trying to say?
So you don't believe that the gamblers making the most money, you know, what they'll make the most money, you don't believe that it's possible that it could be.
I'm not telling you that there's not someone that nobody ever paid off a ref or a player to point shade. We know that has happened, right? We know that. But what I'm trying to tell you is cannot be the whole system. It can't. It can't. Michael Jordan didn't win a thing until he met a guy named Phil Jackson. He didn't win nothing. Oh, we talk about Michael Jordan. He didn't win a thing until Phil got there. Am I correct?
And until
I don't care about, but he didn't win nothing until Phil got there.
right.
Am I correct? Kobe Bryant did not win a thing until Phil Jackson got here. Am I correct?
Right.
And he won 5 titles with Phil. Am I correct?
Right. He could be a pawn in the game.
And whether he's a pawn in the game or not, wherever he went, he brought a philosophy to that. Everywhere I went, I brought a philosophy to it, and I went from worst to first. And I wasn't no pawn in the game. Everywhere I went, because I had a philosophy, and I ain't played with it. I don't care nothing about what you think. I had a philosophy. This was my philosophy when I went somewhere. When you worked for me, when you was with me, every person that worked with me had to be promoted. And if you wasn't, I'd tell your ass apart. I'd wear you out. Mandatory. Mandatory. If you ain't get promoted, I'ma own you. What's wrong with you? How you can get promoted? I'll tear you to pieces. Give you extra hours. Come in there. Make you stand in front of me and study. I do all kind of stuff. Then you'll get mad at me until you get promoted. Not because I was highly demanding that you doing your job. But I was also highly demanding that you had your success. Was I upon? But I was extremely successful. Get it?
Right.
It was my philosophy. And everywhere I went, I was successful at it. Wonder why? Wonder why? Because when I got invested in them, next thing you know, everything went up. I had to learn that the hard way. That's how I learned it the hard way. They put me in charge of the coast, right? One time I had the whole coast. I had going from Thousand Oaks, Oxnard, Ventura, Santa Barbara, Lompoc, Santa Maria, and San Luis Obispo. I had managers in all those places. And they set me up there because I'm the dude. I'm Mr. Amazing and Wonderful. Because I'm so smart and so amazing. So when I went there, I went from place to place to place, and I started off doing inspections everywhere. Big old long thing of inspection. Then I wrote what's called letter of instructions to everybody. Then I went and did counseling with everybody. Then I set all these things in place and tell them to check on this thing every week. I'm gonna come through here and get until this place get up and running like it's supposed to be. So I had this great big binder full of all my inspections and counseling and letters of instructions. So then the boys flying from DC call me over there. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm amazing. Hey, look at what I'm doing here. I got I've been here, I got a letter of instruction, I got that big old binder with all my stuff in it. You know, to this person instruction and this and that. Letter of instruction counseling. He said, that is great. And then they look across the desk at me and they say, well, I'm gonna tell you what. We're gonna give you some counseling letters of instruction. I said, you gonna give it to who? No, I'm always number one. I'm too sharp. No, I don't need nobody's counseling, and I don't need nobody's letters of instruction. I don't need that. They looked at me and said, "What you talking about? Didn't you say you gave them counseling letter of instruction?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You know you part of them, right?" I looked at them. I took a good look across that table. I reached over there and grabbed that book and pulled it back close to me like this here. And I told them people, I said, "Let me tell you something. They're not that bad. They're not that bad." Then I called them up and said, "Everybody meet me in Ventura." I got in my car, rolled up to Ventura, and I said, "All the managers come in here. Y'all get in there and y'all go back there and y'all rip up every bit of goddamn one that counseling letter of instruction, and you rip that, you rip it right up. Every single bit of that, and you put that in the trash. From the day on, all your problems are my problems, all my problems are your problems, all his problems is his problem, and all your problems is that problem. I don't care what the problem is, we saw that thing together, and we do it 24 goddamn hours a day." We went from last to first. Wonder what happened. Wonder what happened. I joined them. I joined them. I joined them. That's what happened. I didn't see them through a lens of I'm this and they're that. I joined them. So they weren't afraid to tell me what was wrong. They weren't afraid to talk about how we improve things. They weren't afraid to communicate. They took down the value from the shield, and we were able to critically think and solve problems. And we could collectively solve problems and use everybody as a tool, and we just wore everybody out, and we had no competition. We were like the Knicks winning the title. This ain't rocket science, man. This is not rocket science. If you work together and work collectively, you will always, there's no individual that beats a team enough. If you see a family that's dysfunctional, they are not working together. And you know it. Mom and dad ain't on the same pace that they're gonna family gonna struggle. And you know it. You know it. You know it. Mom don't like auntie, auntie don't like uncle, uncle don't like grandma. The family's gonna struggle. We know this. What are we talking about? We know it. But when you got somebody that's a real leader up in there that can really bring that unit together, about those families rock and roll. And we know this is true. So what are we talking about? What are we doing? We know these things. But once we get into these denials, because we become indifferent, we start protecting ourselves and we start looking for reasons why something is not true and why something is wrong. Y'all guys got any questions for me today? Because I got to get ready for the next one. Yes, sir.
Dope ass class.
Sir?
It's a cool class.
Thank you, sir. You know, so as I said, I'm not trying to be right. I'm here trying to work with all of us together. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Great weekend.